Let's have a look. Këtu për shembull, dakor, te faqja e parë Stefanit I ke vendosur këtë no. Atëherë këtu kemi se cutting edge technologies are enabling the utility of point of care diagnostic devices which provide actionable. I never heard about this word actionable. Effective and affordable patient care. Actionable, which provide flexible, effective, or there is a better word for this. Actionable, effective. In recent years, the need for alternative to conventional bright field microscopy and the expansion of new and efficient tools at an early stage disease have become necessary. This paper into tackle important bright field microscopy question which is such. Okay. Issues such as ethics. Stefan, actually, I hope you can discuss in. I wish you had discussed in details what you mean here with ethics of using devices. Meanwhile, introduction. And Stefan, here in introduction, don't put a point at the end of introduction. It is not a sentence, okay? So this one, it should not be introduction peak. Not introduction full stop, just introduction is enough. Then we have bright field microscopy was one of the first ways to detect presence of microorganisms. Biological sciences, microbiology, bacteriology, bright field technique to assess the invisible world of pathogens. Invisible. Well, we could use another word here. Bright field observation is widely used in biological medical organization. Specifically, it is applied for stained, naturally pigmented, or highly contrasted specimens mounted on the glass. Okay. Imaging and tracking, I've written this part. Okay. Now, you can add here, Stefan, also the fact that this images is also acquired in unstained images too. So I download this one. So here, things that I can suggest: remove these, remove these, Ktopikat, review, tracking, track changes, okay. Epoch University, abstract, gone, introduction, this is gone, actionable, which provide, here you can, I don't know if actionable is a very good word, but versatile, it's a good word, okay. Versatile, effective, and affordable patient care. In recent years, the need for alternatives to conventional is expansion, okay. I think we're at this part, and then it's applied for stained. We can also recently, the need for unstained samples has arisen, has risen, and as the reason, one of the reasons is that so recently the need for unstained samples is reason. Well, this is not good. Major. It's not good to mention reason. One of the reasons. Okay, is that the dyes. So staining is done by using dyes, which are chemical solutions added to a biological sample or to a cell. One of the reasons is that the dyes affect negatively the health state of the cell. Okay. In this case, the contrast is much lower, and this makes the work of medical practitioner more difficult. For this reason, image analysis is needed to improve the quality, to remove the noise, etc. Okay, so you can put a lot more. So it's not only used for stained, but also for unstained samples. And what is important here, insert a figure of stained image and the figure of unstained image. Okay, so here, insert the figure here. So let's do this like this here. Okay, and then imaging and tracking the okay. Nonetheless, as science and technology are developing, as well as due to the major limitations of light microscopy, there is a need for new method. So I have not read the rest, Stefanos, but I wish you should, because it makes your work better. Where is this comment? Where is this comment? Reviewing. And they call it reviewing. I thought it was. Where is the comment here? Review. A new comment. Here it is. New comment. Okay. Insert in the paper a section where you discuss the limitations of light microscopy. What are the limitations? Okay, so there are many publications regarding this, and this will make your whole work better. Okay, Stefan. So let's save this again. Okay, limitations of light microscopy. Previous papers have shown excellent. Okay, acute, important, that's semi-quantitative. Literature review. We remove this from here. Title. Okay, so now literature review. This part of the paper includes a literature review and discussion. Okay, now here we don't we do the literature review, but we don't put this much detail here. Okay, so this section we can cut it short, and we can say that the investigation. Okay, we can call it like this. Purpose. We also leave it like this. We don't represent this obviously so explicitly in this way. We can say that the part of okay. We start like this. Nisar et al. Okay, and then here we put 2016. This is one way to talk about this. We can also say the following: Nisar and the collaborators. Okay, and then Nisar and collagues, but this is a smaller option. Okay, have investigated three segmentation algorithms, three different segmentation algorithms. Okay, inactivated sludge wastewater treatment plants. These algorithms are. Let's take this one from here. Are okay. Now, what you can since you have these algorithms listed here, Stefan, and again, it's easy for you to find references where these algorithms have been used elsewhere. Okay, where have these algorithms used elsewhere? Insert references from other publications mentioning these three. Okay, so include this, please. So this is a note for you to keep. Okay. Okay, then this says resolve problems based. Okay. Edge-based segmentation. Okay, the second one, right? Edge-based segmentation gave better results compared to other algorithms with an accuracy of 97. Now, most probably this is percentage. Okay, so look in the paper when they say an accuracy of 97. No, wait a second. No, this is okay. Sorry, this can stay like this because it's accuracy of 0.972. But otherwise, this could have, you could also write this one as 97%. Let's keep this like this based on performance used as always. Thus, improving the effectiveness of each processing. This sentence is not directly linked with the previous sentence. Okay, so this is a little questionable. So, or you can rewrite this sentence. Rewrite this sentence because here you talk about the edge detection being better than the other two. So you have three algorithms. You say that this is better than the other one. Okay. Then you say thus improving the effectiveness of image processing. This does not have a direct. There is no link between this sentence and this sentence. So we can read this a little more carefully. So we need, you may need to rewrite this sentence. Okay, this one, and then we come to this other paper, and then this type. We don't, this type of format, we don't keep this in here. Okay, so this goes, and then we continue. We say that what is the last name here? Pandian and John, Reno John, Pandian and John develop I'm reading what they have done. Pandian and John developed, let's pick this one. Developed WDPM techniques and characterizing the system in terms of resolution and sensitivity. Okay. They used, so I can pick this up from here. They use fast phase, and also this fast phase, I noticed that often you use the capital letter. Unless this is an acronym or a method, it's good to keep a small lower letters. And even here, edge-based, so this is also not good actually. This edge is good to put a lowercase letter. It's not the first name. It's not an, even this E. coli, I don't know if this E. coli can stand like this. You can double check this one, but most probably you can even write it like this. Or you check in the literature how they do it, then make it capital letter again. Maybe I'm wrong. So they recorded the interface. Okay. Now, what is essential here, you are writing a report, and let's make this one also, let's make this go. So insert references. That's improving. Okay. Then here it is good to insert representative image from the data set used in this paper. So what we can do here, insert representative image or insert a figure. We want here, Stefan, we need to see what type of data set they've been working with. Okay, so we care more about this than comparison between the algorithms. You can insert that too. Okay, you can insert one image which is assessed using edge-based segmentation. You can give another image with another figure where they have used channel-based segmentation and Bradley-based segmentation. You can also include this. So 3 images analyzed with 3 algorithms. That's good. But more essential is that even if you don't include it, please include the image that they have analyzed. Let's have a look. How difficult is the work? This is collaborators. How difficult is the work of Nisar and colleagues when compared to the work of Pandian and John? This is what we care, okay? So if we look at the images, we can immediately conclude that, you know what, Pandian and John have had a much more difficult data set, so probably we have to respect them more, or their challenge, it was a more realistic one. So it's good to include, so the same way that we mentioned here, we can write this one also here for this other work. So it's a review paper. We have to look at what they've been dealing with. Okay, then here we have another paper, which similarly, we try to do it like this. So Stefan, don't misunderstand me. This can stay like this, but when you give the final report, we don't need to keep this information as you have listed in here, okay? So this one deserves to go to the references. Let me see the reference section. So they are here, rightfully here. They deserve to be there. But now let's come back. So we take off this part, and I hope everybody does it like this. So take this away, and we see that we have Saavedra. Okay. Then we should immediately. So actually, we should go here. Insert Saavedra et al. Year 2000 something. Use, okay, propose the use. That's very good. You say they propose a telecentric architecture of okay, they use telecentric architecture. That's nice. That's good. And then this was a purpose, resolve problems. So I believe now we understand how we might work on this one, Stefan, right? So then we can immediately insert their major achievements. So we can say here the fundamental contribution, their major contribution in the paper is that they proved that there is no need for computer compensation, etc. So we can add all this part like this. Okay. Title. So this goes on like this. So again, probably we don't need to do this one by one, but these, the purpose or and the result problem, this is good, this way that you have categorized them. But now for all of these, it's good to, they say, restoring artifact-free microscope image sequence. This is good. So we need to see actually what they did, what algorithm they used. So please, this is really good, Stefan. At least I see the quality of papers. They looks, you have chosen good ones, but you just need to merge all of this discussion into a smaller section of the page by removing these, okay? And please, for all of these, include representative images. Here I see something interesting, high contrast imaging of plastic embedded tissues by phase contrast electron microscopy. It's interesting. So they do phase contrast electron microscopy. Phase contrast is often seen more in light microscopy, but they use this. This should be a very good paper. So please include the resolution of this paper, okay, in your report, okay, because it's an electron microscope, so it should be way better. So here we have time-lapse microscope image sequences, okay. So, okay. Online 3D tracking optical imaging techniques for point-of-care diagnostics. This looks like a good paper, and actually it is, because very good professors are here, with Ozcan being one of the best, or one of the authors that first started this. And the point-of-care microscopy, here we see point-of-care and point of procedure optical POP. So this is POC and POP, POP, optical image technology, prime care. Okay, this looks like a review, provides a review. Okay, it's good. So you can bring, make a list that are mentioned in this review paper. How many techniques, tools have they mentioned? So this looks like it's a review paper, okay? So if it is a review paper, it's a very good chance for you to pick up a whole list of tools and techniques. This will make your report much easier. So please make use of whatever this paper has listed, okay? So you can include a table or make a list / table, okay. Again, this looks like a good paper, 2017, point of care testing for me. And discuss this paper in detail also. So we may include and listen tools listed in this paper also. So the experimental section, now we see some images. Meanwhile, I want to see just for 1 second how we are dealing in here. Stefan, I picked up this one. We have this class, Albert Urban. Okay, okay. Image. We have a figure. We can say the figure 2 filament curvature of something. Okay, and you can say here adapted from. Where did you get this image? Probably this image is from adapted from Nisra et al. I forget what was Nisra et al. 2016. So this is how you should list these. Okay. So or this is one way to say this. Another way to say the following: included with permission from Nisra et al. So some papers they have very good figures, okay, and it's good to you can pick up their figures and put in your paper or in your publication, but you have to ask permission. Okay, traditionally, what you can do is that if the paper is published on a journal, you send an email to the general editor of the journal, and you say, I want to take this figure, so please, I can say ask to use other papers figures from the editors of the journal, okay, from the lead author or from the contact person in the publication. So you may have from the publication, okay, so you can use the same figure, but you have to include, you can, but you have to include this you have to ask for permission. And you should also learn what is the best way how to refer to the figure in the figure caption. Okay, so putting details in the figure caption, it is very, very important. And the people are very fast. So if you send an email to the editor of a journal, you say, you are the editor of this journal. There is this paper of 2016 with these authors. They have I want to borrow this figure. Is it okay? Because these journals, they have the copyright. So when people publish something in a journal, now they have also included a signed paper which says that all the rights of this paper belong now to the publishing house. Okay, so you should contact the editor. That's the first step. The second step is you can also send an email to the lead author, say that you have this paper from 2016 titled this way, published in this journal, volume 8, page 256. We like figure 3 of your paper. Can we use it in our reference, in our publication? Most probably they always say yes. Okay, but if it's not the lead author, you can sometimes the contact person is, which is put with a star, is not the first author. He could be the second, third, fourth, fifth author. You go and find the contact person, you find the email, you send them an email, and they generally reply very fast. They always say yes, because they like to have citations. They don't say, oh, I've published this figure and I don't want the other people to use it. No, that's not true. They will answer you very fast, and like unless there is some very strange reason, they will always say yes. Okay, so please, again, we have to learn this. Okay, this is very important. But and actually, the most the most unacceptable things that can be done with a thesis is to pick up the figure of someone else and include it in the thesis without reference, because people might think that you did it. Sometimes you might include a graph that has hundreds of data points which have spent months and years for somebody to put it, and you give no reference. That's not good. I mean, this is unacceptable. So you can borrow a paragraph, not whole paragraph, sorry. You can borrow a sentence and you can refer to it. So for example, they might say that we tested the effect of this algorithm on computational imaging for unstained images, and we got an accuracy of 70%. If you write something like this, the words might match with the words listed in another paper. This is fine, okay. But and then you give the reference for sure. So you might find some common words here and there with a couple of differences. But putting a figure, which is a big effort, uh, even putting a figure in a good format with a correct resolution of 300 dpi. So let's make a list here. So you can have a paper, figures in a paper that you need 300 dpi resolution. Okay, if they want to print it, they need to do this. Even if you make a figure, your figure might have 70 dpi. The journal is not going to accept it. So you might have to do the experiments again, just for the sake of making the figure again, because you lost the original figure. Okay, so don't lose your original figures. So please keep them, because it's a big issue. Trying to reproduce a figure which you did it a year ago, it is very difficult. You might have lost the codes, or maybe you cannot find them right away. You might have put it somewhere. So trying to keep always the highest resolution of the figures in a safe place, in a special folder, it will make your life easier. Okay, so actually how to deal with this is very essential. So what I want to say is that some paper, only to produce this, it's a pain. It's a huge pain. I mean, they might have reproduced it with 70 dpi, the journal has 300, they do it, they submit it, and now you pick it up and you publish it in your paper. I'm just considering even reproducing this is difficult, let alone the effort. Okay, so it's a challenge. So please, so don't lose your original figures. This is something regarding the figures. Always save them as PDF format, SVG. There is another vector format. I forget. There is a vector format image type. PNG, I think. Yeah, PNG is a vector format. TIFF is a good format. So these are acceptable formats. But what happens is that what is tricky is that sometimes if you use LaTeX editor, some LaTeX editors, they don't allow PDF at all. So they say that the server did not accept your publication because who knows what. It happens sometimes that some servers, they don't allow, for example, figures to be in PDF format. Then you can never predict that. And it's a very challenging situation because you think you are doing everything correct, but that's not the case. That's why you might keep few different formats for the figures. But again, so plagiarizing by using the figures of the other, this is the worst thing that can ever happen. It is worse than copy pasting 2 pages. If you copy paste 2 pages like full from another paper and you put it in your work, this is not as bad as inserting a figure which has several data points on it. Okay, so don't use figures of other papers without asking editor and the authors. So the editor, authors. The editor, he's the editor of the journal. Okay, so he's the owner of the journal, not owner. I mean, he's the representative from the journal. Authors, these are primary contributors. We don't need too much words. We know what is an author. Okay. So calculation filament curvature. Here we go, filament. Okay. So this is bibliography. Okay, that's good. So now I think in this work, Stefan, we see that you have a good number of papers that you have included. That's a good thing, but you need to make them more coherent by removing these. Okay. Okay. So now we had a good discussion regarding these. I hope you all heard this, and we hope we can learn something. And this is important. This note here, and always like here, figures. Okay, insert images, and when you say insert images of the objects that they have observed with a microscope. Okay, sometimes they observe fluorescent images. Fluorescent images are the easiest images to deal with because they are fluorescent, they shine light, they are bright. It's like watching some light at night. So they are easy. You just need to quantify them. So it's a different story when somebody is using fluorescent images, and it's a different story when somebody uses unstained bright field images. So the most difficult images to deal with are these unstained bright field images, because you can have also unstained, which is always unstained actually, which are phase contrast images. But this is it cannot get any worse, okay, than this. So that's why we care that when we are analyzing these images, we should always look at the quality of the images. Okay. Okay. Do you have any question, Stefan? And by the way, I hope I'm presenting my screen. I am. Okay, that's fine. I understand, Stefan. I mean, it's good to go over these because now these comments I made, I'm going to send them back to you, and I hope you can improve on top of this. Okay. Okay, that's good. That's good. Anyone else has any question? Alberti, Alerti. Okay. So if you have no question, we can give a short break, and we can start.